Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, okay, allow me to introduce Tuan Zul Azhan, graduated with Electrical Engineering degree honors from UTHM, and currently he is pursuing Masters in Research Digital Information of Facilities Management in University Malaya. Has involved with multiple industries facility setup and planning, notably projects such as Pinewood Iskandar Malaysia Studios, University of Reading. And after having to serve the industry more than 15 years, walaupun nampak muda, pengalaman beliau ni boleh tahan dah 15 years. He co-founded Infinity to assist organization with their digital transformation journey leveraging on industry. He also a certified consultant by Asian Center for Energy and certified workplace and facilities management UK. He is keen on technology adoption model research and consultation. He leveraged these skills and knowledge in his work. Now he has been dedicating his work to assist clients such as Country Garden Pacific View, EEW Groups, Hershey's. Ni chocolate favorite saya ni, Hershey's. Johor State's government with their digital transformation journey. Zul lead a team of researchers and product development team to serve clients in multi-industry with a data-driven analytic solutions and wireless sensors. On contributions back to the academia, he spent considerable time as industry advisory panel for UniKL. So we are really grateful to have you here, Tuan Zul Azhan. So without further ado, I would like to invite Tuan Zul Azhan Abu Bakar to deliver his keynote speech on how university and industry can support Digital Malaysia mission. And similarly to the previous session, okay, Tuan Zul Azhan are happy to answer if you have any question during his talk. Please turn on the raise hand up button, or you can leave your question by writing it in the chat box. Please welcome Tuan Zul Azhan Abu Bakar.
Thank you very much, the hardworking Dr. Noor Hafiza. So today I would like to spend a bit more time to talk about how university and industry can actually collaborate and to support the Malaysia digital mission. So before I start, I would like to say thank you again. I appreciate the invitation from UTHM, especially from the Honorable Dean of UTHM, the Associate Professor Dr. Rosli. Was greeted very warm by his team this morning, by Dr. Noor Hafiza, Dr. Daniel, and Dr. Abu Ubaidah also. We met this morning. So thank you very much. It's been an honorable journey for us from JB to Pararaja today. And I was told by Dr. Hafiza today is a bit laid back and less formal setting for our event. So if I'm too formal, please let me know. Okay, I'll try to mix a bit bahasa Melayu dengan bahasa Inggeris, just to relate to what I'm trying to say today. So because I can see, saya nampak ada few attendees yang maybe daripada sekolah, kalau tak silap saya. So kalau ada soalan yang tak berapa jelas, boleh interrupt saya bila-bila masa ataupun lepas saya punya presentation. Okay. Before saya start, saya introduce saya lagi sekali, just a brief one. Saya Zul Azhan Abu Bakar. Saya Chief CEO, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif untuk syarikat Infinity FM Sdn Bhd. Dulu formerly known as Infinity FM Sdn Bhd, but now we are officially known as Infinity Wave Sdn Bhd, and we are actually a technology research lab. So what we do eventually is to bring technology and digital transformation to our clients. So being said by Dr. Noor Hafiza just now, our client range tu vertical dia in multi industries. Ada yang manufacturing buat coklat, ada manufacturing heavy industries yang provide services for Petronas, Shell, ada juga property developers yang develop smart cities, and state government agencies. Okay. Saya akan share my presentation so that everybody can relate to what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, again, I would like to say thank you. I appreciate the invitation by UTHM, especially from Dr. Noor Hafiza and Dr. Daniel, they've been working so hard to make sure that this event is being successfully delivered today, and I think it's being more than a success. And my topic specifically today is how to answer the question of how university and industry can support Digital Malaysia mission. And this topic is quite interesting because Malaysia recently has been talking a lot of buzzword about digital transformation, digitalization, and how we want to be a content creator rather than content consumer in terms of technology. Okay, what I will share today atau apa yang saya akan share hari ini will be relate to what we are doing in the industry and also what universities and academicians or researchers are doing, and how these two entities is going to be working together, partnership, collaboration, and bridge the gap to support the digitalization. Saya akan touch a bit on case study yang actual, yang the success stories like Silicon Valley, how Stanford can support that kind of big aspirations and becoming the world-changing type of technology hub. Okay. So the outline of my presentation will be yang saya share ni lah, research lab to the world, digitalization is important, why Malaysia digital aspirations, and the key of the presentation today is about the university and industry collaboration and way forward. And I will share a bit about what we've done so far in terms of collaboration and projects. So saya tak nak elaborate lagi apa yang saya buat dan my background, because Dr. Noor Hafiza just now kindly already been introduced me, and thank you very much also if I miss out Dr. Khairun just now for a lovely speech before my keynote. So I've been in the industry for 15 years since I graduated from UTM. Now also doing my own postgraduate in University Malaya in digital transformation. I've been working in multi-industries, working in various countries, Singapore, UK, Malaysia, and the last development that I did was in Iskandar Putri. I developed University of Reading facilities, and now starting my own company with my co-founder, Dr. Noor Azia, who's eventually a former and current academic person. And we are actually an actual case of collaboration between industry and academia. Me, myself, saya daripada industry, dan Dr. Azia is a former and currently still attached to University of Reading as a lecturer. So the idea of bringing technologies to the client makes sense when we collaborate and co-founded together Infinity. And this is not really a new setup actually. Most company in Singapore, Europe, and even United States, there's a lot of companies, startup technology companies yang invite professors, researchers to be part of their board of directors to give input in terms of what subject matter that they are keen on to study, to do research. And this input is actually valuable for companies, especially technology startup. And cut short, Dr. Noor Azia has been spending time teaching in various universities, the Reading, Hero Watt, and before this, she came back in to Malaysia in April from spell teaching in Bond University, Australia. So her research interests also revolve around digital transformation, but mainly in built environment and construction. Okay, a little bit more about our company. We are a technology research lab, means we kind of play around with technology, but mainly it's all about livelihood of people, society, and also businesses. Means we try to make city operation livelihood better. Our core business is always to bring complex technologies to the actual implementation. And how to do that is always the challenge for any company, any technology company, even researcher. So we have our own technology application modeling, or TAM, or technology adoption model, that we design on our own, and the framework that we use can be adapted to multi-industries. We have partnership also, local and abroad, and this will eventually bring a lot of value to what we do to our client. Okay. Okay. Back to the topic why I'm here today. I just like to share this interesting fact about research. Back in 1996, there were two PhD students in Stanford University that started a research paper called Backrub. So Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they were doing some research about internet algorithm and search engine. So back then in 1996, they were only Yahoo and maybe Alta Vista, but they think that it can be better and it can be simplified with certain algorithm. So they were playing around with Python programming and Java. So couple of years run through, and then Backrub, now known as Google, is a 2 trillion company known as Google. So this is an actual case where research can be implemented in an actual setting and change the world. And I hope this short story I shared today is going to be an inspiring story for researchers in UTHM. So there's a lot of recent buzzword about digitalization. Malaysia is talking about digital nation, my digital, and there's a lot of framework blueprint being introduced to the country. But why is it so important for us to do digitalization right now? Back in the 90s or before that, we are mostly known as a developer country that wanted to be an industrialized country. But why now is a trend for us to be part of this digitalization effort globally and also in Southeast Asia. So it's quite straightforward answer for this, because digital technology adoption is one of the main key economic driver that can accelerate growth, meaning from economic point of view, dia boleh bantu a lot of people to be involved in the economy itself. Kalau dia tengok Shopee, Lazada, they cut through the need untuk sewa kedai, birokrasi untuk memulakan perniagaan. So dengan ada digitalization, everybody can participate and everybody can actually benefit from the digitalization. And the other reason why the country is going to emphasize on digitalization is the optimization of production and business processes, yang boleh cut through kan semua paper based processes kan, isi borang, kesilapan, birokrasi, ada banyak kesan-kesan yang tidak baik daripada proses yang tak transparent dan sebagainya. Dan daripada optimization of production, especially manufacturing, kita dapat reducekan kebergantungan ataupun the dependency of low wage job ni. Banyak manual laborers punya work tu being replaced by automation, and this is where kita boleh give back the set of a part of the economy to the right target group. That means it replace the low wage job to a more high value job, engineers, automation, robotic engineers and so on. And this is one of the key areas that the country or the government wanted to do actually. The digitalization ada potensi untuk boostkan productivity, create new job opportunities, new kind of job opportunity, enhance the quality of life, society at large. And sebagai negara yang berbangun, that still a developing country, this is an opportunity actually for Malaysia untuk leapfrog, untuk compete at par dengan country yang sudah well established and developed. Kalau kita tengok Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, mereka dah ada keluarkan banyak so-called technology unicorn. 2 hari lepas, Grab, syarikat yang berpangkalan based in Singapore, although originally founded in Malaysia, being listed in New York Stock Exchange as a public listed company. So this is where actually a developing country can go head to head dengan developed country, because from economist point of view, this is a phenomenon called leapfrogging. Kalau kita tengok India also produce a lot of engineers, then top 5 technology companies di Amerika Syarikat, CEO dia adalah Indian origin, yang terbaru Twitter. So saya nak share this important graph. Kalau kita tengok from left to right, ini adalah bukti yang ataupun research yang dijalankan being done by OECD. Negara yang membangun atau sudah develop yang meningkatkan percentage atau intensity teknologi dia atau digitalization dalam apa-apa industri dan processes akan mendapat lebih banyak percentage dalam total employment berbanding negara yang lebih stagnan. Kalau kita tengok contohnya di bahagian paling kiri, Turkey, dia increasekan dia punya automation and digitalization up to almost 40%. Dan kalau kita tengok dia punya increment of total job opportunity tu berkadar terus. Dan kalau kita tengok negara yang sebelah kanan, dia hampir negatif dan tiada growth dari segi job opportunities lah. Kalau kita stick to the things that we do in the last 20 years atau operation yang tak ada perubahan dari segi automation dan sebagainya. This is quite important for country like ours lah. Kita produce thousands of graduates, young graduates yang keluar daripada STEM khususnya kan. Dan kita dapat keluarkan mereka dengan high value job yang matching dengan kelulusan mereka. So job matching is really important for a developing country like ours, and why Malaysia is introducing this digital blueprint. So saya akan move to the next topic, which is a bit pasal Malaysia Digital Aspiration. Last April 2021, our Prime Minister announced that we are going to start a digital journey yang dipanggil My Digital Blueprint. So ada 6 strategic thrust atau pillar yang kerajaan akan cuba digitalize. Meaning to say, number 1, public sector, economic competitiveness through digitalization dalam SME, perhaps digital infrastructure improvement atau penambahbaikan internet connectivity, 5G dan sebagainya. Competent digital talent, which is really important kalau kita nak berada dalam era digital ni. Create inclusive digital society. This is one of the TAM yang kita selalu emphasize dalam kita punya consultation. Bagaimana setiap company yang kita serve tu ada satu set of fasa dari segi digital kompetensi, apa penyelesaian sistem yang dimula guna, dan yang terakhir ethical digital environment. Ni back or relate back to the data privacy dan sebagainya. Dan this 6 pillar of blueprint supported by 22 strategies and 48 national initiatives. And there's a total of 28 sectoral initiatives going to be launched in 2022 soon from this blueprint. So blueprint sudah ada, dan hari ini untuk relate back how university and industry can support the digital aspiration yang dalam blueprint yang dilancarkan oleh Perdana Menteri Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri pada April 2021. Saya akan huraikan sikit demi sikit, dan kalau ada apa-apa yang perlu penerangan, saya cuba bantu dari segi explanation. So back to the main topic today, the university industry collaboration, atau in short term the term is UIC. It's not really a newly minted term or recently created. It's been researched. There has been a case study about how this critical component of innovation should be implemented to any country that wanted to go or start their digital journey. And this UIC model is going to be crucial for promoting knowledge exchange and knowledge transfer, and it should drive the partnership based on mutual benefit. And the last part that is really critical for UIC is the element of bridging the gap between these two elements. Why? I will explain in this really important framework, because any innovation, the fundamental of it will be this triple helix of innovation. So this research by Eskovitz and Ledesdorf back in 1990s came about when Stanford started to run their own technology hub, which is now called Silicon Valley. And in triple helix of innovation, there are actually 3 steps of it. And where we are as a country in Malaysia is the triple helix number stage 1, where everything is driven by the government. We have the My Digital Blueprint now. And the rest, the next step will be the industry and university collaboration. The university and industry collaboration should have a so-called lifelong learning partnership. The transfer of latest scientific research should be implemented in actual condition by industry. And university also need to have a little bit of a balance between engineering science and also engineering practice. And again, I think this is a really important key element for university, a new curriculum that actually can promote and also relevant to the industry. Okay. I explained a bit more about the triple helix of innovation and the collaboration between university and industry. So for university, it's quite obvious now. University wanted to increase their research and they wanted to feel and see and actually know that their research make a societal change, a benefit to society and community alike. And I think this is an actual not question but vision for any researcher that I've met. I spoke to a lot of academicians. They wanted to see an actual implementation from their research paper. They don't want to stop their research paper to end up in just their lab. So on the other hand, industry is always moving ahead, move forward, driven by profit and loss, but they lack something that actually university has, which is expression of researcher from their leadership knowledge in research. So this is something that industry is lacking, because I've been an R&D engineer before, so I know the way industry do research and university do research is pull apart. It's a totally different thing. So, but on the other hand, industry can provide funding, the actual data, the maybe the problem statement, the feedback from the market, how the product and services can be better. And this so-called value add factor that can only be obtained from university is the resources, the know-how from professors, inventions and pattern. And I think industry will benefit a lot from what the academician and researchers is going to provide them with. So as a summary, there are a few factors that why industry really needs to collaborate with university. From researcher and expert point of view, the community relation, the knowledgeable faculty of subject matter expert, labs and facilities that I saw just now UTHM is providing in the industry with, continuous training and education. This is, I think, by far one of the most important thing why industry needs university, because technology is going to change and evolve rapidly. Last time, there's a research that talk about technology obsolescence, means the obsolete of technology is around 5 to 7 years. Now it's getting shorter and shorter. Most technology are now being obsolete within months. And while we talk about this subject, we need to look also why university need industries. Like I said, an actual case study, the problem statement, industry expert will give them the actual framework on how a product from lab to the actual environment is going to be delivered. And the most important reason why university in the industry is the employment for graduates. So the match up and the matching skills and also the talent provided by university should be able to be to cater by industry alike. So primary role of collaborative research development or R&D, of research and development ecosystem, I would say, is between university and industry is quite important because they are the fundamental of, like I said, triple helix of innovation. The government already set out the aspirations and plan and their blueprint. So this is where industries and university can actually collaborate and partner up. University can conduct an actual industry relevant research, which actually tackle the actual problem that is happening out there. And university can give access to industries relevant for their research result. And on the other hand, industry can provide the actual problem statement. So this is where the collaboration can spark the innovations, the solutions, all kinds of new findings. And by this partnership also, is the key element why the My Digital Plan will be successful. It's not being elaborate, sadly, it's not being elaborate quite deeply in the My Digital Plan, but it should be there because the triple helix of innovation need all three. Government needs to set out their blueprint and plans. University and industry needs to collaborate, and all those three need to have like a factory of knowledge transfer where we can learn from what successful and what not actually. This is how most countries like Singapore, some countries in Europe and also United States learn from the past because this is how we progress eventually. And to set out the realities that should encourage triple helix partnership is this factors. Industry is always looking to reduce costs. They wanted to have the shortest period of time and the least cost possible to bring out their product and services to the market. But on the other hand, government and university is always working on a very tight budget. So this is where change management is needed. Industry and also university and government, like an open innovation model should be implemented rather than working in silo for each of these elements. If you look in this next slide, there's a bit of changes needed in the industry because there's a lot of companies that did their own R&D. They discover it, they do their own development research, and they ship their product and services to their client. While most of the developed countries now looking at open innovation where external R&D from academia, especially research centers, can create significant value. And while they still can retain their own internal R&D, this is important because this is where co-creation model is being started. So we are only as good as what we have in terms of quality. By having a collaborative mind, expert from universities, we can do better actually. There's a lot of papers, journal research that actually stuck and left in journal papers only, or sadly in labs. So when all this collaboration and open innovation model is being implemented, this is where an actual solution being introduced to the actual problem statement. And but again, change is not something that an easy task to do, but it should start somewhere. And I believe that UTHM is very keen to work on this. They've been talking to several of their industry partners, and I think this is a good initiative, and it should be supported, and it should be encouraged more. And this is also a pathway to an open innovation model that always being implemented in any developed countries. So by having a change management apart from industry's innovation model, universities also need to look at how their situation at this point of time, or how they deliver their services currently. So teaching oriented is normally be implemented rather than research oriented. But now most higher education is looking into industry driven teaching rather than research oriented. So this is something that might be interesting for UTHM to explore. Limited industry experience and practical knowledge will be one of the biggest challenge. I spoke to many academia, even in my role as IAP. So I don't think limited industry experience is something that's going to stop certain academics to have a positive impact to their teaching or research. I think the worst, not worst, I think the more challenging part will be not being relevant to the industry. That means you can't really get to understand and get to see what's the changes being done in industry in terms of technology adoption. By not having an actual industry experience, I think that's not really a big issue currently, but not having the right relevant information and changes about technology and certain industry is more difficult actually, because some of the information that we might share might not be up to date, perhaps. Okay. Academia and industry normally has different motivation, and this normally will break down the collaboration and partnership. Of course, like I said, industry is always driven by profit and loss because that's how they operate. And in terms of entrepreneurship, this is not something that a high priority for university. There's no commercial mindset in terms of bringing certain solution to the market. Lack of controlling mechanism, like we heard just now, the IP belongs to who when we do this collaboration. Lack of efficient communication path, because both has different type of culture in communicating, and also narrow outlook on potential ventures. Okay. So this change management that I spoke about is going to change a lot of roles, responsibility, not only for universities actually, even for the industrial life. University we have will need to have more industry, and university actually need to have more open innovation collaboration where it's non-linear, it's share knowledge, co-creation, and the approach to this collaboration should be infinite. It's more systematic than rather than project management approach. So when we approach the collaboration as a project, it's always seen as a time limit project. You done this, then that's it. But that's not actually the case for innovation. We've seen how telephone evolved for many years. Back in 1990s, supercomputer is less powerful than our smartphone. So that's how eventually co-creation should be approached. It should be as a strategic management rather than project approach. And this systematic approach should be interdisciplinary, not multidisciplinary. So it should be more inclusive. Talk about several various stuff. Like I spoke to Associate Prof. Dr. Rosli this morning. Multi-skill, multi-engineering, and multidisciplinary. It should be like integrated together into one model, which is called interdisciplinary. Nowadays, you cannot limit yourself to engineering, civil engineering or electrical engineering. You need to explore the application of technology and engineering to agriculture. My co-founder, eventually, her background is built environment and construction. I myself is a engineering graduate. So this is how the collaboration and actual interdisciplinary works. The limitation of approach, like I said, from project management and also discipline will hinder and will become a big challenge for innovation. And from a industry point of view, this is what they view, and this is their so-called ideal look for university. They wanted universities to always provide them as a one-stop shopping experience. That means they wanted the right, of course, talent, student recruitment and engagement should start from the beginning to groom the best in the market, to be the best and also relevant with equipped with relevant knowledge, to have executive education. Of course, this is a continuous training and educating the industries, IP licensing, research collaboration, and joint partnership. And also philanthropy, where I saw just now there's a lot of CSR work being done by university and if I'm not mistaken, just now Petronas that provide solar panel for certain school. This is an actual ideal outlook from industry point of view, how university should actually look like, and this will eventually help them to take a non-traditional role, to be a source potential of a so-called source for their next innovative solution. Because without this, I don't think industry will be attractive enough to collaborate. As a way forward, industry and academic play a different but significant role in nurturing innovation. UIC will eventually lay the groundwork for innovation for any type of location, countries, or people. But it's always the UIC that drive the initiative further. Government can only give the support and encouragement in terms of grants, the blueprint, strategic planning. But it's always the university and industry collaboration that lay the groundwork for innovation. And as a summary, supporting the digital agenda in Malaysia need a holistic change in mindset, ways of working, and communication for both actually industry and also universities. The cross collaboration between university and industry should be viewed as a strategic management rather than project. Government funding is always important for early stages innovations. University partnership with industry will help increase employment prospect for students, to set an entrepreneur culture in university, to contribute to innovation, to ensure that their actual research not only stop at lab or paper journal, but eventual implementation. And this is one of the most talked about topic actually, about clear regulation of sharing intellectual properties between industries and academic. So this is the last point. Actually, it's going to motivate further academicians, especially to invest further in their research for commercialization. And as a whole outlook from country or government point of view, the collaboration or R&D investment will yield technologies and idea, but the most important thing that it produces the fundamental or bedrock of any knowledge economy, which is skill and talented people. We look at an actual case study where Alphabet, the company that owns Google, they spent a dedicated of 16.2 billion US dollar, and majority of it went to universities for their research, while Huawei currently at 19.5 billion US dollar, and they committed to add another 100 billion in the next 5 years. They co-authored more than 3,000 academic publications for 2015 until 2019, and collaborated with more than 1,000 higher institutions. So if we look back, to summarize back for the last 3 slides that I talked about, there must be a strong incentive or benefit for both industry and researcher to collaborate. So even though their motivation is different, there must be a pathway so that both can actually have a win-win situation. And so my last part of presentation will be the initiative done by our company in terms of collaborations and research and also consultation. We have a strategic partnership with UTHM, excuse me, UTM, Boy University in Australia, University of Reading UK, Malaysia, Segi University, Taylor University, UniKL, Inti College, and certain research centers such as forensic engineering and also UDE, urban design and environmental for urban planning in UTM. So our one of the project that we did with UTM, urban design and environmental from the Faculty of BI and Environment is to do a strategic planning and research on developing smart city transportation and livelihood. So the research grant and funding was awarded to UDE as part of our collaboration. And one of the key, I would say, activities that I am doing right now as IIP for UniKL. I participate a lot in their so-called research and also capstone projects. And recently we did a webinar and collaboration with the director of Forensic Engineering Center in UTM, Associate Professor Dr. Izni. We talk about the pandemic and the post-pandemic for future of facilities management and how people going to come back to office and use their facilities. The last one will be the collaboration project between us and several of the university shown here. Dr. Daniel also participated in this with Dr. Azlina. We did a research collaboration with University of Reading, Malaysia, with Professor Dr. Tek and also Monash University, Professor Dr. Nafis Alam, UTM, Professor Dr. Nazri, Dr. Imran, and also several others, including NUS, National University of Singapore. We did back in December 2022, we did a strategic planning for a smart city and technology hub project in Iskandar Puteri. So this eventually not only involved the academician that I showed here, but also several industry professionals such as one listed company that has been involved with smart city development of one architect firm. So the collaboration eventually produced a plan that currently being implemented to kickstart the technology hub project in Iskandar Puteri. So I spoke a bit about this this morning with Dr. Daniel and Associate Prof. Dr. Rosli. And it's quite interesting because this is an actual case of partnership and collaboration between two entities. And from academician point of view, I think there's a lot of input that we receive from subject matter expert, sustainability, livelihood, how actually technology hub is different for normal cities and so on. We also quite active in creating awareness and knowledge sharing. We have our own Infinity Ed, an initiative where we spread a little bit of information to the masses, to the industry about technology adoption, smart cities, transformation needed in certain sector and industries. And before I end my presentation today, this is the information about our company. You may visit our LinkedIn where we share a lot of white papers, reports, and also articles. So I think that's about it from my session today. Again, I want to thank you and like to say thank you again to Dr. Nofiza, Dr. Daniel, and the rest of the people behind the scene that worked really hard for this event to be successful today. All right, thank you.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Tuan Zul Azhan, for your valuable insight and sharing about this triple helix collaboration idea and about the how we try change from the closed innovation to the open innovation. And before that, I would like to welcome, we have participants, Dr. Mazlan Abbas. He is our IAP for UTHM, FKE, CEO of February. Welcome, thank you for joining us, and also other industrial partner who just came in and joined us in FB Live. Okay, thank you for coming and join us. Right. So now, Alhamdulillah, we reach to the Q&A session for this third sharing. Okay. Allow me to read one question from Fauzia Hanim Cik Seman from Facebook. Thank you, Mr. Azhan, for the ideas that can culture collaboration between university and industry. My question is, during this pandemic, where I believe industry also affected, okay, may you suggest which role or activity should we do first to start our early collaboration? What activity should you suggest?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Yes, I agree. Everybody is affected by, of course, the pandemic. That's why it's called pandemic. And when we restart the economy, there's a lot of issue actually. I think that issue should be addressed first. When we start the restart the economy or give everybody the freedom to work and go back to school. So there's a lot of need in terms of how to make sure that people is safe, how to make sure that everybody is protected, and how to make sure that we can live our life, maybe not as per pre-pandemic, but with a condition that's set by the government to ensure everybody is well protected. So that's the actual question that academicians, researchers, industry should think about. We've been approached by several organizations actually because our specialty is facilities building and also smart city operations. Sorry, they need to know. Okay, if they want to make things working hybrid, how does it? I mean, how does it work and how does it being effectively done? They have Zoom, whatever, but how effectively the hybrid work or mode is being implemented in their companies? Does the so-called guideline is good enough? Do they need to like monitor people in terms of distance, proximity, maximum people in per area? How technology can help them to cater that, monitor that in terms of um, work post-pandemic. So there's a lot of questions actually being imposed by a lot of people. Even government was asking how to ensure that school students, university students is going to come back to their campus, but to ensure that there's no infections and whatnot. So I think one of the key things that everybody should look at post-pandemic is how to get everybody safe back to the state where we were pre-pandemic. Not to where, I mean, we need to accept that there will be endemic. They need to accept that there will be some changes in terms of the way we live and also we work. But how to do that? There's a lot of questions that's not being addressed actually. But I still believe that technology can help to mitigate the risk. Right, Dr. Nofiza?
Okay, thank you very much, Tuan Zul Azhan. So there are a broad option that we can have in order to start the collaboration, depending on what aspect we want to look at. Okay. All right. I would like to invite any other question from the floor. Should you have any question, please, you can turn on your mic or you can write your question in the chat box, please.
If anybody happens to have any questions or any inquiry, just let us know. I will share my email contact, and Dr. Noazia contact so that everybody can just link up and connect with us.
Saya percaya ramai sebenarnya nak tanya ni, tapi
Yeah.
mungkin mungkin apa ni, yalah masing-masing ni minggu menyediakan soalan final exam ni tuan.
Oh ya.
Jadi mungkin masing-masing busy, tapi IoT ni dia memang you know, any field related with this IoT. Even saya sendiri, my field is on optical sensors and devices. So I can see that there are peluang yang besar lah untuk collaboration to expand the census application if we integrate with the IoT system. Okay, alright. So insyaAllah kita akan contact Tuan Azhan dan akan share contact if we receive any question or any query from the participants later on. So on behalf of the organizer, we would like to thank Tuan Azhan for your sharing just now. InsyaAllah, we will strengthen our collaboration since you already have collaboration with Dr. Daniel. Ada project dengan UTHM kan, so kita happy lah. Kita happy with that. InsyaAllah, we will contact and have good collaboration with Infinity FM. Thank you very much, Tuan.
Sama.
Okay. And I think we still have time. Maybe I think we can allocate some time for Dr. Azia, which is co-founder of Infinity FM Sdn Bhd. She also lecturer at University of Reading. She can share her experience in industry while working as a lecturer. Dr. Azia, please join us to share the experience as a co-founder and also lecturer at University of Reading.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Hafiza. I hope everyone can hear me. So as Zul mentioned just now, apart from co-founded Infinity with Zul, I'm also teaching, particularly in quantity surveying and construction program at Reading University. I've been teaching for the past 10 years, so teaching has always been my forte. Then I joined Infinity back when he started Infinity back in 2019, just before the pandemic. So in terms of experience, it has been a major shift, I would say, from academic and then changing my mindset to profit and loss, but at the same time wanted to contribute to the people and community out there. So when Zul invited me to join the company, he mentioned that his main intention is to contribute back to the society, which I agree. So then I said yes. So in terms of collaborations, I help Zul in terms of strategic partnership. So you can see that we have listed various universities, colleges that kita dah pernah bekerjasama, dan juga ada some other industry partners yang tidak di-listed in our slide. So reason being because we believe that the more we are, the merrier. So lagi banyak partnership dan kerjasama yang kita ada, dia boleh bagi lagi banyak value to what we do. And then he talked about knowledge exchange, knowledge transfer. Okay, so whatever research yang kita pernah buat dulu before we started the company, we actually implemented. And it's actually an actual product now, which is called Fox. You can search about it, www.foxmy.io, and has been used by our various clients on how do they can digitalize facilities management and building operations. And we keep on expanding that product because we believe that once we have the research, we implement it, but it won't stop there. Because the more feedback we have from the industry, the better the product will be. So we hope that we can collaborate dengan partners from the industry dan academy so that kita boleh tolong implement the actual development of whatever research that you have produced. And as for Reading, because my expertise specifically in quantity surveying, so most of the research yang I buat, in fact, when I was in Australia, is on digital construction. So we have actually conducted several case studies, which is for free in Johor, on heritage buildings. So what we do, we 3D scan the buildings to help them untuk produce actual drawings on how do they can maintain better the building and conserve these buildings and not to just demolish or abandon those buildings. And apart from that, if UTHM would like to also collaborate with Infinity together with Reading, there's always a channel and a platform for that, especially in terms of academic, because Reading Malaysia is just a subsidiary of the main campus in the UK. So our programs are basically developed in the UK, and we have all the professors from the UK being invited to deliver guest lectures, and also our industry partners from the UK, so that bila kita ajar student bukan saja dapat exposure tentang Malaysia context, but also UK context on how the legislation, apakah undang-undang di sana, ataupun guidelines yang diorang boleh apply into studies. And apart from that, on trainings and event, so like Zul mentioned, we have Infinity Ad as our initiative because we want to contribute back. And we usually do webinar for free, podcast for free. We have our own YouTube channel. So kita try untuk guna social media to engage more audience, even though they are not making profit to us, but we like to share our knowledge and sharing our experience. So on training and event, so at Reading, we have invested in a lot of softwares, but mainly for digital constructions like Autodesk softwares. We have our own 3D laser printer, we have 3D laser scanner. So if UTHM would like to collaborate on that, definitely kita sangat mengalu-alukan. Then another thing that I just want to highlight on research, because it is typical that bila kita buat research, kita hanya within our own program atau faculty. Kita tak nak join faculty lain sama ada business ke accounting ke, we don't see the relationship. But when I was in Australia for 2 years, I can see that their style is different because they believe that for you to be able to contribute to wider community, you need cross collaborations within faculty ataupun across faculty, even across university. So definitely we would really encourage if you want to partner up with us, and we look forward for that. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Alhamdulillah, thank you, Dr. Norazia. Okay, so we are very excited listening to the option that we can have for collaboration with Infinity FM Sdn Bhd and also as well as University of Reading. I agree, I absolutely agree with you that industry and university, industry and academia should complement each other in order to move towards this concept of open innovation. Otherwise, whatever that we do, the fundamental research will stay in the lab and just stated in the publication. So it is good, it is a good option for us to approach industry that can help us. Hopefully, we can realize our idea from the laboratory to the market by your help from industry. So thank you very much, Dr. Azia, Tuan Zul Azhan from Infinity FM Sdn Bhd.